We got our new chainsaw here. See how this thing works.
That first Greenworks saw lasted right at 3 years before the oil pump gave out and I had to get a new second generation saw to replace it. This first saw didn't last, but the battery powering it here for the first time is still going strong, as you'll see. So if my old Greenworks saw is still doing okay, why did I just buy this Husky 350i to replace it? Heck, why do I even need a chainsaw or a battery powered chainsaw in the first place? Part of the reason for that can be found by clicking this link, which will take you to a video Wilson Forestlands did about a comment I made on one of his videos. Mr. Wilson has a lot of good outdoor stuff on his channel you want to check out too. Other reasons I need a chainsaw, and a battery powered one at that. After years of using this handsaw to get to places like this, I bought that first Greenworks chainsaw to make life easier on myself. I chose a battery saw so I didn't have to haul gas inside our Cherokee.
There's a nice picture of the north side of the mountain. Let's see if we can get a picture of our road with all our logs. That was fun. That took 2 or 3 hours to get through all that crap with my little bow saw.
So no handsaw for the last 4 years. Here's that first generation saw and that original 4-amp-hour battery in action a few years back. I used that first generation saw quite a bit the first 3 years, continuing to clear roads to get into this backcountry and getting firewood for the stove of my hot tent. After 4 years, the original 4-amp-hour battery is starting to show its age a bit though. We're out the charge light button, put some silicone on there. This battery's still going strong. You can see the date of manufacture. The battery was made in 2019. Yeah, the battery outlasted the original saw by quite a bit. The second generation saw, which I'm using here, has quite a few improvements, so getting the new saw was an upgrade. I bought the spare cheapo knockoff battery a few years ago, but it's never been as good as the original genuine Greenworks battery, and lately it's become a paperweight. But when the weather gets warm and the saw gets pushed a little bit like this, even the genuine Greenworks battery has this issue.
Let it cool off where we charge it.
Got a red light, so the battery's still too hot to charge. I like the saw so much I was willing to just work around the battery overheating issue, but I really wanted a better spare battery, so I ordered another genuine Greenworks 4-amp-hour battery from Amazon. When that battery was delivered earlier this year, I noticed that the date of manufacture of the battery was September of 2021. So it had been sitting on a shelf somewhere for over 2.5 years. And it arrived with only one state of charge light blinking, so it had self-discharged down to between 10 and 15%, just sitting on the shelf, losing capacity over time. That's the way I got this thing. It arrived in the package with the light blinking. Shouldn't be a good enough start with a new battery for anyone, so I returned it for a refund. Next, I thought I'd try Greenworks 80-volt system, so I had Amazon send me this Greenworks 80-volt pole saw. I like having a pole saw around for hard-to-reach wood like this, and I've gone through 3 40-volt Greenworks pole saws over the years. You can see my videos number 76 and 77 if you want to see more about how that went, but I don't have those anymore, so that might tell you something. This 80-volt pole saw came with a 2-amp-hour battery, and I bought a 4-amp-hour battery as a spare too. 2-amp-hour battery, 4-amp-hour battery. Right off the bat, there were problems with both of these 80-volt batteries. They don't put the doggone manufacturing date on these. And it says right there, cannot be used in the 80-volt chainsaw. Isn't that great? That's what I got this for. I was thinking about getting a chainsaw. Not a whole lot of charge on it. It's blinking. So who knows how long this thing sat on the shelf. It doesn't say you can't use it with the chainsaw on this one. This is the 2-amp-hour battery. I think it also came in blinking. I'm not impressed with that pole saw either. But this 4-amp-hour is definitely going back. You can't even use it with the frickin' chainsaw. What the hell's the deal with that? As I said, I didn't like using Greenworks 80-volt pole saw. It was too heavy and awkward. Greenworks is now sending me bad batteries, and 3 of their 40-volt pole saws had failed on me. Given that, it sure looked like it was time to try a different brand, so I ordered this Husky pole saw to check it out. Right off the bat, I was pleased to see Husky displays the year of manufacture prominently on their batteries. Good for Husky for putting the production year of the battery right on the battery. And the Husky pole saw's 4 amp hour battery arrived in a decent state of charge. Everything about the Husky pole saw just seemed better than either the 80 volt or 40 volt Greenworks pole saws I've tried, which gave me the confidence to order their 350i chainsaw to try out. The 350i arrived and I was pleased to see so far Husky is being consistent with their battery dates. The state of charge of the 7.5 amp hour battery that came with the 350i was also good. The next big test was to see if the Husky chainsaw battery was going to overheat like the Greenworks chainsaw battery does.
2 lights left. After all that, know what I wanted to see, if this thing was too hot to throw right on the charger after doing all that cutting. Start charging, it's not too hot, good deal.
Scott Alpine is trying out the 350i too, which can be seen here. I was so impressed with the 350i, I bought a second one and gave it to Mr. Wilson so he could try it out and let everyone know what he thinks of the saw. That video can be seen here.